In a huge setback for the Aam Aadmi Party, the Delhi High Court has in fact ruled that Arvind Kejriwal's arrest in Delhi liquor policy case is valid. The BJP has come out all guns blazing, seeing this certainly almost an endorsement of their political stand. Joining me now is Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Mr. Puri, really appreciate your time. Thank you for speaking to NDTV. Court has made remarks on the plea challenging the arrest, not on bail. So it's just legal grounds of arrest being found bona fide, not merits of the accusation. That is the point that is being made by Aam Aadmi Party. Sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you, madam.
Okay, so should I ask the question again? If you heard my question, if you can respond to that.
Well, I think making allowance for any loss in the audio, I think the issue that was before the court was not a one of granting bail. It was a challenge to Section 19 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The Aam Aadmi Party was questioning and challenging the arrest of Mr. Kejriwal. And the court, the learned judge, was unsparing. I use my words very carefully, unsparing. She said that Mr. Kejriwal, both in his individual capacity as Chief Minister and as the convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, was complicit. He participated in the formulation of the excise policy, and I want to remind you, Mariaji, that the policy was formulated on September 4th, 2020, when the entire country was reeling under the effect of the pandemic. People were dying, they needed oxygen, but Mr. Kejriwal was busy formulating an excise policy. This policy came into being in November 21 and was around till July 2022. And this policy led to unprecedented levels of criminal activity and corruption. Today the judge said, and it is very important because earlier Mr. Kejriwal had taken the position that Mr. Vijay Nair, who was the kingpin there, did not report to him. He reported to Atishi Marleen and to Mr. Bharadwaj. Today the judge said, but you participated in your individual capacity. You as AAP convener, you sought kickbacks, and that money trail found itself all the way to the Goa election. The point is being made here is very clear that the evidence before the court which the enforcement directorate produced made it absolutely clear that the arrest was in order and that Mr. Kejriwal will have to respond. To which an answer, a point was made by Mr. Kejriwal's lawyers, but you know, this is an election. He said this election has got nothing to do with it. Then they brought up the money trail and they said electoral bonds. They said electoral bonds have nothing to do with it. Here is a case where Mr. Kejriwal was personally involved in the formulation of the excise policy. As Aam Aadmi Party convener, he asked for kickbacks, and the approvers' statements, which were recorded by a court, not by an agency, that is in pursuance of a 100-year law. So I think Mr. Kejriwal has to face the consequences of a situation and of actions which are entirely of his making.
But Mr. Puri, Aam Aadmi Party still calls it a conspiracy. They are saying show a single money which has been recovered.
Madam, you have the statements of the approvers. You have all the other evidence. This case is just beginning. You don't show the evidence right in the beginning. They were questioning the arrest and saying that it is illegal in terms of Section 19 of the PMLA. I went through the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and nothing that was said in the court. And the court has held firmly that the arrest was perfectly in order and that it will proceed. Now Mr. Kejriwal has the option as part of due process to go up and appeal. But that's a separate issue. This court has found him. No relief has been provided. You use the word setback. I'm not used to using words like this because Mr. Kejriwal has had one setback after another. In 2011, he participated in the Anna Hazare rally in Ramlila grounds. What happened in that rally? He was fighting corruption. Who was in power then? It was the Congress party. And today what has happened in 2024, that same place in Ramlila ground, they meet. And what happens there? वो जो भ्रष्ट corrupt लोग थे, उनके गले मिल गए वहाँ. So this is a political narrative which he will try in his defense. I personally don't think, and I'm quite confident now that there is any, and there are any takers for it in the legal process or for that matter in the political process,
Okay.
no matter how hard he tries to play victim.
But Mr. Puri, the day Sanjay Singh was given bail, Aam Aadmi Party went to town with the order as if they have been acquitted. Today, a judicial process is being dubbed by the BJP as guilty verdict against Kejriwal.
I want to draw, Mariaji, a very basic and a substantive distinction. Here is a case which was he was not a bail application. This was questioning the legality of his arrest. And I think the court has come down very clearly. What the Aam Aadmi Party says outside when a case is pending, just that you are given bail doesn't mean that you've been acquitted in the case or the case has gone away. So I think there is a lot of, verbal jugglery going on with the Aam Aadmi Party. I saw that reunion where the gentleman you named who just come out on bail, he met the Chief Minister of Punjab in great excitement, lifted him up. I mean, that's their way of political posturing. I mean, if I were a Karyakarta of the Aam Aadmi Party, I'd be very worried as to the kind of charges which are piling up. An outfit which started its political life in an anti-corruption crusade is now deeply mired in that corruption itself.
Yes, but the question also is, Mr. Puri, about what the Aam Aadmi Party and other political opponents of yours say about absence of level playing field. That yes, this is about the arrest, which the High Court says was legal, but the court hasn't spoken about the merit of the case per se. And then Aam Aadmi Party and your other political opponents may be right in saying that in the run-up to elections, there is no level playing field.
Well, let me take you up on your yes but style of questioning. Yes, today they questioned the legality of the arrest and the court said no, it is totally in order. Insofar as the evidence comes and the issue, the substantive charges, to say that there is an election doesn't give you immunity from arrest. If you have wrongdoing, the concerned agencies will step in. This applies equally to the Aam Aadmi Party as it does to any other political party. Where is the question of a level playing field? He was given 9 opportunities after November 2023 to respond to the summons of the ED. If he had received a summons, first time he should have gone and said, I'm in the clear, this is the facts which are before us. And the story might be over. But he evaded it. After the 9th summit, they visited him in his Sheesh Mahal. The Aam Aadmi had moved meanwhile from muffler and no red lights and small, what is that car called, Wagon R or something like that, to the Sheesh Mahal, and he was arrested. And he is now first in judicial custody, now otherwise. So the point is, you can't mix these two up. Elections will come and go. But where there are serious charges of criminal conspiracy, the court has used this word. I can tell you, it uses the word and says that there is upheld his arrest and subsequent remand holding the ED was able to produce enough material, statements of approvers and AAP's own candidate stating that Kejriwal was giving money for the Goa election and that he is personally responsible, personally involved and that he himself asked for kickbacks. Now the other day, he turned around and said as Chief Minister, Mr. Vijay Nair didn't report to me. He tried to throw 2 of his colleagues under the bus, but that is not going to wash in the court because he has a responsibility both in the formulation of the policy and in the demand of kickback. Now if he can turn around later and prove that he was not involved or is not correct, that's another story. But today the limited focus is on the court judgment today where the arrest was deemed to be perfectly legal.
That brings me to my last question, Mr. Puri. Despite these scathing comments, Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party insist that he will continue as the Chief Minister. Is this leading to a constitutional crisis?
Well, I am neither a constitutional expert nor am I involved either way, whether he continues or not. But I as somebody who's put in 50 years of public life. I joined the Foreign Service at the age of 21. And, that was, I'm now today 72. I think this is the height of shamelessness. If after being arrested, after being in Tihar, along with several of your meeting, you can have a cabinet meeting inside Tihar, but that doesn't mean that it is all right. I think it is entirely shameless. And if anybody has any shame and anybody responds to normal standards of political decency, he should put in his resignation now straight away so that somebody else can run the government. Because you cannot run the government when you are behind bars. Simple.
You are saying that Arvind Kejriwal
And this
must
will
resign.
set a precedent. Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt about that.
So how is the BJP planning to take this up? That's my last question, sir. Because,
No, I am.
the court told Mr. Kejriwal not
Madam,
to politicize the court hearing, should the BJP also refrain from calling Kejriwal guilty as trial has not even started?
No, I chose my words very carefully. Nothing that I said he's guilty. I said the court said very clearly he is involved in his personal capacity. He is involved as chief minister and he is involved as Aam Aadmi Party convener. And the court has made that assertion based on the evidence that was before the court. Now, how the court proceeds is when the trial will start. It's only after that he will either be held guilty or not guilty. So BJP is not saying that. Certainly, you have many BJP, but today I am appearing before you in my capacity as speaking on behalf of the BJP. And I am saying very categorically that today's judgment is that based on the evidence which was before the court, they said that the arrest was not illegal. That is the limited point.
So, based on today's judgment, you as a representative of the BJP and union minister are of the opinion that Mr. Kejriwal must resign.
Well, I am there. I am giving my opinion and my personal view that he should resign. How can you be behind bars and conduct the affairs? Delhi is the capital city of the country. I said in another such interview, it's a very special place. Not only the capital city, you are the elected government at the local level, but you are in jail. Some of your other colleagues are in jail. I mean, if it had left to me, I'm speaking personally, the entire lot should resign. But he should certainly step aside as chief minister and allow the processes to take place in the normal course. And the fact that there is an election does not provide you either an alibi, or it provides you an excuse from not proceeding. If you were a sitting chief minister and you committed these things as another one, you have to face the consequences. That is the law of the land.
All right, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, Union Minister, really appreciate your time. Thank you for speaking to NDTV.